Dan McDonald here, the LifeRegenerator. How you doing? Just got done taking a shower, and guess where I get a lot of my creative juice? Yes, when I clean away the sweat and the mire and the muck. And I get inspired, and I just thought to myself, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just do it, dude. I'm gonna do this. I would say, like, okay, if I raw foods, living foods, fruits, vegetables, herbs, nuts, seeds, whole, unprocessed, unheated, unaltered, from the earth to our stomach, minimal processing. You don't want to have to you know, unpry every sunflower seed, put it in water and soak it. It's nice to have a little processing. So let's all keep our heads on right. But raw foods, okay, what would I do? Let's just start out with weight loss. What would I do if I wanted to lose weight? I would eat raw foods. I would drink green juice, wheatgrass, and oranges and watermelons, and I would, in the weight loss process, I would eliminate a lot of the fats and the nuts for a good long time, but I would use those things to balance me out. But I would really use a high volume of fruit and a high volume of salads, lots and lots of alkalizing salads and green juices and smoothies, okay? And so if I was going to lose weight, that's what I would do. I would eat if I really wanted to nail it, I've seen people do 100% raw food. Boom. I mean, they drop like a pound a day on raw food. Why? Because raw food is real food that doesn't stick. Now, if you go out to raw food restaurants every day or make, nut pates and eat a jar of nut butter, you're going to be slowing down the process because that's going to slow down the cell respiration. You want the cells to breathe. The fruits and the herbs, they go in, break down easily, pass through the small and large intestine easily, and then you absorb the minerals and phytonutrients and energies that are subtle energies, and then you poop it out. It's real easy. A lot of things that are cooked, high heated, they get stuck. They don't digest as well. They've got no enzymes because you all know that if you heat the foods up, you lose the enzymes. So I'm not totally anti-raw foods. Myself, I try to avoid raw foods as much as, cooked food as much as possible because I'm pretty fanatical myself personally on cell regeneration, optimum health, and potential, my own potential arising. I think raw foods, for me personally, is a very big part of that. Okay, I love raw foods, I just absolutely love raw foods. I pretty much about 99% of my diet is unaltered, whole, unprocessed. There's some processed raw foods in there. I like little things here and there, like the little things from those little laughing giraffe, little coconut macaroon things. Those are pretty good, man. And I use those for calories on this ride. And they pack real easily and they last a couple days. So those are pretty cool. So I'm not saying totally unprocessed. I use a juicer, but I'm just saying that the element's not heated. Really, that's the important thing because I think when you heat things up, you alter its chemistry. When you heat up milk, for instance, raw milk is a world away from cooked milk, pasteurized, homogenized, weird like goop, sloppy, mucus-forming death. I've seen so many examples of, take the milk out, allergies go away, sinuses clear up. It's a no-brainer. But raw milk is a mile away. I myself don't do raw milk. I have had raw milk. I used to have goats for the first 2 years I was a raw foodist. And it was all right, but again, still yet, I found it to be mucus forming. And I need those sinuses and I need those nasal cavities to be clear for what I do with my life, which is have a lot of fun, run around and play all the time. Okay, so I avoid the milk and stuff like that. But the point is unaltered, unheated foods have their natural enzyme content, which are biocatalysts for metabolic functions. Okay, you want your metabolic functions, you want them all, because the more metabolic functions you have, when your digestion is top from enzymes, when your heart is strong from a lot of enzymes, when your mind is alight with the hormones and the steroids, neurotransmitters in your brain that are formulated through enzyme activity. So raw foods. The thing about raw foods is this: I've never seen it not work. Okay? Now, some people say, oh, I did raw foods for 2 years or no, 2 months and nothing happened. Well, then I say, well, what were you eating? Well, a jar of nut butter every day, nuts. I went to raw food restaurants every day and nothing happened. Well, okay. Plus, you can't take 45, 50, 60 years, whatever it is, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of Oreos and alcohol and cigarettes and, coffee and everything else that we all do in the societies as a social engagements, and then turn that around in 2 months with raw foods. You can't take someone. We've taken people from the brink of death, though, many, many times. If they really want to hit it hard, they can turn it around. Okay, so the weight loss thing, there you go. Raw foods. I mean, I'll say it over and over again because I love it, and I know that it's my job to just promote raw foods. That's the only thing I'm good at a lot of things, but I love raw foods because it's going to change your life. And there's a lot of naysayers, and that's fine. I don't care. And I also don't get into the details either. I'm not one of these fanatical Nazi religionist raw foodism that has this certain paradigm. I flip it up, mix it up, man. But really, I just stay away. My main concern is staying away from altered foods with heat, foods that are altered with heat, and foods that are sitting on shelves for 3 months, 6 months. That's not my thing, dude. I go to the produce section, I get fruits, I get vegetables, I get herbs, and I soak nuts and seeds, and then I just blast through, and I keep on going, okay? So that's raw food there for the weight loss a bit. Let's talk about, now, if I had cancer, what would Dan do if he had cancer? You know what I'd do. I'll tell you right now. I'd be all over some wheatgrass. I'd be making green juices like it was going out of style. I'd probably drink, depending on my body size, anywhere from a half a gallon to a gallon of green juice every day. But do you think I would sit around and wait for the green juice to do its work? No siree, Bob. I would get my butt outside into the sunshine. I would get my butt outside and find some flowing water, whether it be the ocean, a waterfall, a stream. I would walk next to that stream and I would breathe. If I had cancer, man, I would make breathing like my main priority. I would also eliminate negative people from my life in 2 seconds if you want to get her going, because you got to have positive energy. Without positive energy, you're not going to do diddly squat. You got to be having gratitude, thankfulness, even for when the times are hard coming into LA, man, with the traffic and stuff. You got to just stay the course. You got to stay strong, because it'll try to bust you down and it'll try to break your spirit. Don't let nobody break your spirit, and stay on the positive. Even when that voice is coming in there like blah, 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 trying to complain, you're like, no, I got to stay thankful. I got to stay focused on looking for things to be gratitude about, and keeping the on switch on, the life flowing through you. We're flowing through with the raw foods. We're energizing with wheatgrass. Hey, dude, if I had cancer, dude, I'd be all over some fruits, man. I don't care what they say about that, because they don't really even get the energy vibration of the it's all scientificism, but not really clinical, experiential, vibrational energetics of like a grape. And they're talking about, no, man, if I had cancer, I'd be all over those grapes, dude. I'd be on watermelons. I'd be on oranges, high water fruits and vegetables, and I would not sit around. I would go find fun things to do. Now, if you've got issues deep down inside, which is really where a lot of that stuff, I believe, comes from, you've got to do the eating, you've got to do the forgiving, and you've got to do the recontextualizing. You have to start looking at life differently. You've got to let go of those old belief systems that tell you you're no good, that you should be ashamed, that you should feel guilty. And you all know what I'm talking about too, because I'm fairly advanced little dude, not too advanced, pretty preschool, spiritual preschool, but still compared to a lot of people. But I'm saying I still go through it, you know what I'm saying, all the time of all that stuff. So in the cancer, dude, if I had cancer, I'll tell you, this is just me. If I had cancer, I'd be on the wheatgrass, green juices, salads. I would move. I would do yoga. I would go to museums. I would go to art shows, dude. I would go to music shows, and I would go listen to the opera, and I would go listen to classical music, and I would find fun people to hang around, dude. Sometimes that's not like at the raw food restaurants. You go there and it's like everybody's in a bad vibe or something, too much gourmet or whatever. But dude, get the fruits, vegetables, sunshine, fresh air, and the love. And I believe that you can. I don't think there's. It doesn't make sense to me that there's such a thing as an incurable disease. It looks like I'm going to take my 11 minutes. I feel very passionate about this. I don't believe in incurable disease. You know, they want to do that and sell you a bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some pills are cool or whatever, but you know you're not gonna transcend the disease by suppressing the message your body's trying to send you. It's trying to say hello, look at me, whether it's shame, guilt, fear, or what, or unresolved resentments. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to get you to look at that, and you're just gonna pop a pill and push it back down. We do the same thing with food. We do the same thing with sex. For me, I'm going to try to wake up. If I had cancer, I would do everything I can to wake up to what's real and be honest with myself. If I had to lose weight, I'd be all over the raw foods. If I had cancer or weight loss or any disease, I would eat so many raw foods, it'd be coming out my ears. Drink so much green juice, it would be insane. People would be like, how can you drink that much? Don't you go to the bathroom? Who cares? I'd get out into the fresh air and the sunshine, and I would keep on finding ways to love everything. Can you dig it?